When I adjusted for VR Town. There we go. Better. I don't move my phone so you guys can't see my nudes.
Your nudes?
Yeah.
Uh,
Literal piles of them.
I got a DSLR for that.
Oh, dude, that's some fancy dick picking you got there, buddy.
No, it's only upper thigh.
Ooh.
We don't go full nude. You tease it.
Dude, tasteful. That's very tasteful.
Exactly.
how much ankle does it show?
None. None. It's only thigh.
I wanted to try something new. Okay, check this out. I didn't show you guys while you were here because it has to be kind of dark for it to work. So let me turn off the light actually completely. Okay, check this out.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it changes
Nice.
color too. Let me turn off the light correction.
That's pretty cool.
That is.
Dude, this is so sick. This looks awesome. This looks so cool. Let me do it smooth. Fade.
Interesting.
I can also do a strobe light.
Oh wait, that's like throwing me off.
This is party mode, dude.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Let me put away my Lay's stacks. This stream is not sponsored by Lay's.
Hashtag paid product. Hashtag sponsor. Hashtag no more hashtags. Please.
Get you out of my head.
Ever.
Light correction or no light correction? Light correction.
Yeah, it looks with the LEDs going. It looks better, I think.
With or without the light correction? So this
With
is
the light correction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right there.
Dude, this is nice.
That's pretty tight, my dude.
Pretty happy. This was... I want you guys to take a guess at how much this was on Amazon.
40
$16 bucks each.
It was $11 for
Really?
a light bulb with a remote control attached to it. Completely just works. You just stick the light bulb in there, and then you just hit the on button. It's fucking cool. I love it.
So that's why it was off. When
It's
we
all
were there.
I mean, there were no lights on. Wait, no, I never turned that one on anyway. So I figured I might as well make use of it.
Yeah, might as well. Absolutely true. Very, very true. We're just hanging out. We're just hanging out until
Hey, thank you to me
Till
for the host.
yeah, thanks me.
Excuse me?
What? Nothing.
You're not me.
I'm me.
Dude, I like having color room. This is so cool.
That is pretty cool.
I love it.
Hey,
Wait.
thanks MarkJon46 for that host.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Oh, that's even better. It lights up like my whole room behind me.
Interesting.
It almost looks like a green screen.
Almost. This is...
Yeah.
I think I figured out my new streaming setup. This is fucking cool.
Do it. It looks like your scythe is stabbing you in the head, by the way. I want you to know that.
Blue, green, red. Dude, this is so cool. Just
That's pretty tight.
having a good time with this. Let's go yellow. That's like pretty white, but whatever.
Me. Should we do introduction, or are we just gonna wait for more people to show?
Whatever you want to do, dude. I'm just fucking with my light.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the 32 podcast. Podcast number 32, Legacy of MarkJon. I'm John. That's Mark.
I'm Mark.
Over there. Sorry, over there. And we have Marshall.
Ooh, we got a whole Brady Bunch thing going on right now. Yeah, I'm Marshall.
Hi, Marshall.
Yeah. So Marshall and I go way back. We went to high school together. A whole 120 pounds ago.
Yep. Seriously.
Yeah, we went to high school together. Never really got close. Then graduated, and lo and behold, our friend group started hanging out a lot more. So we started hanging out a lot more, and now we're pretty tight. We're tight boys.
You know it?
What do you do? Where do people find you?
Oh, you can find me. My Twitch channel is Got Power Gaming. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, most of the time. As often as I can, most of the time, early afternoon. I have a Twitter at Got Power Gaming, again. You can find me there.
Do you have power? I'm just asking. Just asking for a friend.
Does anyone truly have power?
Keep playing Nier and you'll find out, mister.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Oh,
We've been playing that one.
That game. I just don't. I keep thinking I know what's going on, and it hasn't really like changed it up too much from what I think's going on. But every so often I'm like, well, maybe I'll tweak it a little bit and see if I can still guess what's happening.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your current guess? I love hearing people theory craft Nier, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I know exactly what's happening." It's my favorite.
Well, we just saw the one when you crack open the skull of the robots, the skull head thing ball pops out, hits the ground. And it's like, oh no, I have to get out of here, and it rolled off really fast. So that's sort of funky fresh, and I have no idea what to make of that. I was thinking it could possibly be something related to the aliens, and like, they all died, but their consciousness is being put into the robots. But I think I'm still sticking to my original theory of like, the robots have human consciousness input into them somehow, one way or another, and they're humans that the androids are fighting to protect, and yet they're still killing a bunch of humans along the way. You know?
I'll tell you right now, if this were the original Nier, you might be right. But we'll see.
I'm sure I'll finish it and be like, oh, that's what's happening.
It's a game that you can't experience in any other medium but a video game, and that's what really makes it special. It's just such a wonderful game. I'm really excited to see you guys finish it one day.
We'll get to it, because I know, like, I'm going to be now in Riverside, so it's going to be a little bit hard for us to just randomly stream it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, hopefully winter, we can just kind of, like, take 3 days and just try and bang it out.
If you catch my drift.
And also play the video game, yeah.
Yeah.
Those go hand in hand. It's Robo Waifu Booty, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Precisely. But it's just such a bizarre experience. I mean, like, I was kind of getting, like, bored of, like, the big crane mech, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I guess that's just how the biggest that they go. And then we had a whole, hour and a half fight with a thing that was, 20 times that size. And we were like, okay, I guess they get bigger.
Oh, it's big again. Yeah, you spend a couple hours running around beating up these, like, trash robots, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, these things exist too. Congratulations, you found one.
Hey, Greg, thank you for the host.
Thanks for the host, Greg.
Dude, Greg, look at me. I'm LED colored. I have all these different colors now. Like, check it out. Red. Boom. Blue. That was green. Green. Dude, this is sick as hell. I'm so happy with this purchase. This is the best, like, $11 I've ever spent. Back to smooth mode. Nice LED, boys. Hell yeah. Wait, so what was the part you guys got up to then?
What did we finish? We
fought the big salamander thing.
We just found 9S.
Oh, so you heard the best music track in the whole game?
They were all pretty good so far.
They're all pretty up there.
Mark, why
what's up, Xenia?
Purple? Hi, Xenia. I like it, BTW. It actually changes colors. Xenia, check it out. I got a remote, and I can flick between colors, or I can just leave it at fade, and it'll just switch between colors automatically, and it's just smoothly transitioning between colors. It's so cool. Fucking love it.
Good morning, Ijada. How are you?
Oh, this light thing.
So many people just popping in all at once.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. Say hi, Marshall.
Hey guys.
Shut up, Marshall.
Okay.
Marshall, don't listen to him, okay?
My feelings, though.
You don't have any. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me.
We're just gonna go right back in, I guess. Oh man.
But yeah, it's been pretty fun though playing through Nier. I haven't played, honestly. It's been Marshall playing the entire time because it's his channel. Obviously, we'll have him play it. You know.
Yeah. Also, I'm better at video games than you.
I can
1v1
attest to
me. Final destination, no items.
Oh.
that. Fox only.
And who's better at video games?
Dude, I'm so bad at Fox anyways. I'd lose every time.
Oh my god. No, you know what's funny is that we did a recording session today where we played a bunch of like Smash Brothers. We did like one episode where it was nothing but one-on-ones. I don't think I fought you once.
No, we didn't fight. Yeah.
You and I didn't at all.
No.
Mark, I think you got to fight everybody.
I did not. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, you got to fight everybody. I think Sebastian only fought me and Marshall. I don't think you... Did you fight? Yeah, you did. You did all... Wow, you guys all fought except for me and Marshall.
Yeah, exactly.
Put the light on fast mode.
Marshall,
Okay.
I feel like we got cheated.
A little bit. It's okay. You would have lost anyway, so it didn't matter.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah.
We went to a birthday party yesterday, and I'd say 50% of those guys smash on a near professional level.
Yeah, I think we have a top 10 in Southern California that was there. I'm pretty sure Jake is like really good.
Is he?
Like top 10 California or Southern California at least.
I'd hope that loudmouth covered for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the difference is
got backed up.
Yeah. Well, California apparently is like the best scene for arguably versus New York because
No kidding. I didn't know that.
California has Mewtwo King, which is arguably the best Smash player. I don't actually follow it that much. I just heard from Jake.
Gotcha. Well, you know why it's better than New York?
Is this going to be a bad pun?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
It's because Jake's from California,
Oh, there you go.
so of course he's gonna favorite the.
Fucking Jake.
I know
That guy.
right? I don't think I talked to him once
Yeah, I know the feeling.
that entire party. Anyway, what was funny though is that like I actually got the chance to like play with a bunch of these guys, and I don't know what it is because they didn't know how to play against me, and it was like a fresh time going up against them. I actually did well. And then I got to go play against Marshall and Sebastian again, who both came up to record with Mark and I today. Went back and played with them, couldn't do shit, kept losing again.
I was doing pretty well. I don't even think I'm that good at Smash at all.
No, you held up, yeah, for sure.
I
But
held
I'm just
my
saying,
own.
like, it's bizarre because like Marshall and Sebastian, like every time we talk, it's like, oh, we're nothing compared to like this group of people. And then I was like, they started saying like, oh, we should Smash, and I'm sitting there like, I'm worried about going up against these people. And then I did well against them. So I was like, let me see if this carries over against these two. Doesn't carry over. I
See,
still lost.
John, you just gotta
hard.
believe that you'll win, and even if you don't, you're like, it
No, of
wasn't
course.
meant to be.
I know, but I'm just sitting there thinking about like, what is the mental block? Like, what problem am I running into?
It's always a mental block.
The Ganon stomps, that's what you're running into, actually.
No.
No, they're running into him.
Yeah. He's a passive observer.
We got all the Street Fighter pros, all the Smash Bros, all the Tekken pros, and all the Mortal Kombat pros. Cali is hella stacked. BTW Macker, with some of the light colors makes your cam freak out. Oh yeah, no, I'm well aware. I can see it. I can see it just fine. But I like it. So I'm gonna keep it that way.
But what's funny too is that we played Jackbox Party Pack, and we were playing, what was it? Fibbage?
There were a couple that we were playing.
Specifically the one where we decided to fuck with a room of 30 people trying to watch the game.
Oh yeah, that was Fibbage. Yep.
So we were playing Fibbage. For those of you guys who haven't played it, it's you basically lie. And then you vote on somebody's lie to see if it's the truth, and so on. Person who gets the most people to pick their lie wins. We decided we aren't going to say any single coherent answer. We are going to only answer in ones and eyes.
Yeah.
So 4 of us had the name of random assortment of ones and I's, just 1 1 I 1 1 I 1, just all across the board. And all of our answers were the maximum amount of ones and I's we could fit into the answer bar. So every 10 answers, there were at least 4 ones and I's.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't sound fun anymore.
It wasn't, but that was the point.
It wasn't necessarily like we were trying to enjoy ourselves by doing that. We were trying to enjoy the fact that everyone else had no idea what was going on.
Oh, were there people playing normally?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The people playing normally,
All right.
and 2, we acted like we had no idea what was going on.
I thought it was like bots or something from outside the network.
We were sitting at a different table and we were doing this, and every time a question would come up, we'd all glance at the question, and actually we wouldn't even glance at the question. We'd just start typing it in every time we saw a prompt.
Oh, okay. I thought everyone was doing it. Like, that doesn't sound fun at all.
No. It was only 4 of us.
But
out of,
because
like,
you're
9.
japing some people, that sounds amazing. That sounds great.
It was
Yeah.
great. And we found out one of us, for some reason, like one of us was in like 2nd place or like 3rd place or something, and we were just like, we have the majority. We can win this. We can win a dumb fucking game with ones and I's. So we made a code where one of the people would say, I'm going to start my answer with 3 ones. The rest of us wouldn't, and he would. And we would vote for the one that had 3 I's. Or for the one that had 3 ones in it, like whichever one it was. We'd always pick that one. We ended up winning. And then saying like, hey, do you guys mind if we get in on the next match?
It was fantastic. Nobody expected a thing.
Wow.
Nope.
Got away with it.
And the host of the party was just staring at us because he knew it was us, and he was just like, you guys are assholes. And we're like, yeah. Yep.
A
You
little
guys
bit.
took the prize money and got away. The perfect crime.
Yeah. We also got him, what was it? A fully nude body pillow?
It's hentai and it's art.
What kind? What character was it?
See, that I couldn't tell you. It was from
It's
Sword Art
Sword
Online.
Art Online 2.
Oh, it was from Sword Art Online. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Sword Art Online 2, but
Some blue-haired chick. I don't know who.
it's like hardcore fucking waifu bait, dude.
It was.
That's
And
the
we
entire
basically-
show.
We basically got him a body pillow, and it had like a normal cover on top, and we said we got him 2 covers. And he's like, "Where's the other cover?" We said, "Take the other one off." So in front of a crowd of, I think it was 30 people or so,
Yep.
he just starts slowly like unveiling this work of art, as Marshall likes to put it.
It was less of a work of art and more like absolutely nasty. A nasty display of anime uncensored.
What
Yeah.
are
We
you
had to
talking?
warn his.
That
We
is
had to warn his parents.
the
to leave
definition
the
of
room.
art.
We had to warn his parents to leave the room because of how inappropriate it was.
On a scale of 1 to like hardcore BDSM, how dirty like are we talking here?
It wasn't that bad,
No,
Okay.
it was like 6.
Was it just a naked anime girl?
except there were accessories.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, interesting. Okay, huh?
like the
Well,
corset. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I remember the corset. I don't think I could ever forget that.
So dumb.
You know what you guys should do?
Yeah.
Take a picture, put it on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just do
Oh
that.
yeah, that'll get us all the friends.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for Blake, who had to order the damn thing off of Amazon, because now shit's gonna pop up on his feed from now on.
Now I gotta look. Hold on. He ordered it from Amazon. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Anime
Absolutely.
body pillow. How? Okay. Oh, there's one of 2B. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah. We were so
621.
we were kind of shook about the Forest King.
There's one of McCree.
We almost
Yeah,
got Jonathan.
we saw that one. We saw that one too. God, how funny would it have been if we'd given him the McCree one?
Wait, I don't want to open up E621.
Isn't that that's the furry
Wait.
place.
Wait.
Go there, just do it. Don't worry about
What?
it.
All right, I'll do it right now. What's
Can you
going
change
on?
my mascot? Oh, look at that. Oh yeah.
There's one of
All right,
Genji.
6'2".
Wait, so was it a did the blue-haired girl have a green jacket on
Yes.
on one side of the body pillow?
Maybe. Yeah, on the front side, right?
I guess so. And then the other side she's like bent over? Is that
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. There's only 2 left
Yeah.
in stock.
Well, it was sold out 2 days ago.
Well,
So they
now
keep restocking it because clearly people want it for some reason.
Well, now I have to order it. I'm just kidding. I don't think
Yeah.
I would ever be able to unironically order a body pillow. I don't think it could happen.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Do you think that's where the
Yeah.
majority of them come from? Or like,
Maybe. Well, body pillow
I
is
think
good
people
for
do
like.
it.
Yeah.
no, when we say body pillow, we mean the one with anime girls on it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about just like a normalized body pillow. I'm like, well, why not?
It would still
Good.
be a little weird to order it just because of the connotation of the word body pillow.
Yeah. Well, I would be using it as a normalized pillow because it goes across like a queen and a king size bed pretty easily.
That
Yeah,
is,
it's
yeah,
huge.
I could see that.
You know. I don't know. It's my weird thinking. Hey, don't forget to send your guys' question of the week over to legacyofmarkjon@gmail.com. It's on the chat. We've got a few, but we always like to see more. Yeah, so we did a recording session today, which was pretty fun.
No, we didn't.
No, didn't
Didn't-
exist.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
And we banged up Mark's wall real good.
Yeah, thank you.
And the ceiling, don't forget that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the ceiling once. I remember that one.
Yeah.
They kicked
happened.
the shit out of it. I actually, while we were recording, my dad was getting the cats in to the garage again, and he just looks at me through the window, and he heard like on the wall, and he just like looks at me, and I was like, I can't.
Did he end up talking to you after that or no?
No, he didn't. He did come in to like investigate the wall, but he didn't see anything because you guys hit the closet mostly, and nobody gives a shit about the closet.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay.
It got real wild.
didn't think Gord would get that intense.
Yeah. That's a common problem. I also hit the
Well-
closet a couple times while playing, for sure. It's
Well,
not,
yeah, you kind of have to if you want to get your way out of the closet, you know?
not unheard of. Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Spend your whole life in the closet, you'll find your way out eventually.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I've been enjoying the crap out of Nier. I don't know. It's just bizarre. I like A2. A2's cool.
You've seen about approximately 30 seconds of her.
I know, and I already think she's cool.
Yeah, she's
I mean, she is the best character. Actually, that's not true. I think Emil is the best character. Maybe Emil is the best character in any media property I've ever seen. Just such a beautifully written character.
Well, we'll let you know when we actually get to him.
A2 is fucking Bae. Yeah, no, she definitely is. She's Bae2.
It was so funny though how quickly some of these like bots are just like, hey, they ran away. Do you wanna make them renegade? You wanna hunt them down? Is that what you want to do? They make that jump so quickly.
yeah. Just go kill them all. Why not? You know.
It's insane. It's insane. So, I also, while I was hanging out with Marshall out of town, I also got the chance to try out Rocket League. Pretty fun. I still suck at it, but it's still pretty fun.
Probably not as bad as
And-
Steph, still.
Really?
She could not even drive a straight line to hit the ball.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually slightly upsetting to watch it happen. I was like, just drive straight. And then she's like, I'm trying. And then she'd like turn and then would get close to the ball and then would try to like angle, but instead of angling, would turn too far and just drive the other way. And then
Yeah.
she'd be like, "Where's the ball?" I'm like,
Doesn't the camera automatically go to the ball?
"Yep." You can turn off auto camera. Hi, Lynn. How's it going?
What's up, Lynn?
Hello.
Lynn, you've been all over the place. You came and watched Marshall and I do Nier.
Yeah, she joins me sometimes for Battlefield.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Marshall came up to record, and we were just like, you know what? Good day to also do the podcast.
Exactly. Why not?
Well, on the same day that we did Rocket League, we also did I also did PUBG. Tried that out for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boy. How'd you do?
Boy, did I suck.
Oh,
I think everyone does at PUBG.
actually, my third game ever was a win.
Oh, there you go.
Well, also, I'm not used to playing on a keyboard. I am
That
so
is
trash.
That
I
is
hate
fair.
it. I just never was a fan. Like, the only reason I'll ever do good on a keyboard is because it's a simple ass game. Like Undertale was really fun for me because it was an easy game to play on PC.
Like, it's more of like just get enough time to get a hang of the controls, and then once you've done that, then you figure out the meta, and then you're good. And the controls, even I kind of have trouble with the controls on occasion with PUBG. Like, there's so many keyboard shortcuts and like things you can do that make your like gameplay just a tiny bit better. But it's a good game. I like that game a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I know you've been playing it like a whole lot, but I just wish I had a PC to run it.
No idea. Let's see. I've played 49 hours in the last 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Last 2 weeks? Oh
Yeah.
boy. Wow. That hurts. It stings.
You know, we were introducing somebody to PUBG maybe a couple months ago, maybe even a month or two. Anyways, the first two games we were playing squad third person, and the first two games we played were wins
Oh.
with him. So we had to tell him, we're like, this isn't regular gameplay. You're gonna lose a lot. It's just we got lucky the first couple of times, and it turned out really well for all of us.
Oh.
I
Dude.
always think it's funny whenever that happens. Like you hand someone a control. It's like, dude, I haven't played this ever, and then all of a sudden you win. He wins, she wins, just constantly. And you're just like, something tells me you're bullshitting. Don't know.
Either that or the skill ceiling is a lot lower than you expected.
Right? An example is that I played ARMS with Shelby. She'd been playing it for, at this point, about a month before I got my hands on it. She beat me
Yeah, it
once
is in
out of
Comic
like.
Sans.
Yeah, it is in Comic Sans.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
Lynn, pick
I
a
don't know
color.
why.
Pick a color, any color. I'll change my room into that color. Or I can go strobe mode. Party time. You guys can keep talking. I'll do that. Teal?
No,
Let's
but
go.
it's always funny though, like, 'cause I was doing that with Shelby. I was doing ARMS, and she'd been playing it for like a month, and she's not bad. Like, she's pretty good, but I lost the first time. I lost the second time because I was just playing around with characters, and I noticed like a fighting style. I was like, I like playing this way. And then I found a character who's the best at playing that way. I'm like, I like playing this way with this character. And then I haven't lost since.
Ooh.
And I've only played maybe 30 minutes worth in my entire life. And so recently, Shelby comes up to me. She's like, I've been playing and practicing. I'm a lot better now. I'm like, okay. Small part of me is just thinking, like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to improve. But if I beat her in the first two matches, she just might break up with me. Don't know what'll happen.
This is as pink as it gets.
Yeah.
Like, you're no toy, Marky? Me too. It's fucking awesome. Hold on. Let's go party mode.
Oh my god.
Woo!
Have you ever gone like dancing?
Nope. Never.
Do you think you'd ever enjoy doing that? Like even
Dancing where? In like
I don't know, some random get together.
like the clubs? Gonna go
No,
go out
I
to
stay
the
away from clubs. But like, for example, I had some family that had an anniversary party, and Marshall and I went together
Hot.
with a couple of other friends. I know we're
No,
dates.
it was just us. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was me, Shelby, you, Marshall, not Mark, as in Marshall,
Yeah.
Blake, and then one of our other friends who was there, and we just went on the dance floor and had a grand old time. It just depends on the place, but I like going out there. It's pretty fun.
I know the
Fight?
words to every single song.
Clubs
You
are
were-
hella overrated, and then they said take it back.
Got it.
Oh, I'm not sure if take it back was meant for clubs are hella overrated or dancing sucks.
Probably dancing sucks.
I think dancing is for a certain amount of connotate. Like, it depends on what kind of dancing we're talking about. Xenia, thank you for the host. It kind of
Thanks for
depends
the
on
host.
what kind of dancing you're talking about. If you're like, I'm going to go out to the clubs and raise the roof, going to go light up the roof night.
Light up
But
the roof on fire.
yeah, if you're enjoying that, go for it. Not for everybody. Definitely not for me.
Yeah.
But if you're like, let's go to the fucking that one dancing swan diver movie, the movie with the swan diving. That move, it's like, they're doing Ballet Town. That's different kind of dancing. It's still dancing.
Black Swan.
That's the one probably. I'm much more inclined to go to a place and watch that than to go to a club and be in a club.
But you're not dancing. You're watching someone.
Exactly.
Man.
See my point
But
exactly.
but that's not going dancing. That's going sitting to watch an opera or
John.
a show.
All right.
I'll go to America's Got Talent and watch people dance sometimes. Those are
Oh, my
impressive.
Oh my dude, you will cringe.
Going sitting. We're going sitting, everybody. You guys want to come with?
Ooh,
Let's
we
go
did it.
sit. Woo!
I
It's
can
only
just
if you get a
imagine like
table, otherwise you're standing.
I can just imagine like a bunch of people just sitting down, and it's got club music and everything, and they're just doing this the entire time. Lights and everything.
I mean, if you think about it, that's not too far from a lounge. Except lounges are more like you're just gonna sit and hang out and like be chill.
Oh, yeah.
I would way want to be at a lounge. I want to live in a lounge. I want to create a lounge. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones actually in the LA area. Just a bunch of like jazz clubs and so on, where you basically just go. They'll do like upbeat music or just chill music, but you just hang out.
John,
You just get some food, hang out.
that
talk.
sounds fucking awesome.
That's the life of jazz, dude. That like when you go to a jazz show, you're not going there to like sit in an audience and clap. You're sitting there to hang out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
John,
there's
show
also
me the
some-
ways,
yeah.
dude. Show it to me.
Dude, happily. I'll let you know like all the good places out there.
I want
There's
that sounds-
Catalina Jazz Bar and Grill. That's in Hollywood.
to have really pretty inside. It has to be all glowy and shit. I want that.
That's not a jazz club though. That's a
I said a
club.
lounge, John.
But you know what? You could just go to a regular club and sit on the floor, and you'd have the same effect. Right?
No, but lounges should have chill music. That's the difference, though.
This floor has
Right.
crust on it.
Just put in your
I get it.
headphones and like listen and be like, I'm here at this lounge, pumping music, and everybody's dancing around me. But this is my lounge, my personal little lounge.
You just sit in the corner, facing the wall. You're just like, yeah, I don't need to. I'm chill. We're
Yeah,
good here.
This is nice. It's like this.
Quaint.
You guys think I could make a green screen if I made my background green?
It'd have to be I don't think no. I don't think you would be able to.
You'd sure be able to cut out the walls probably, but everything you have like sitting on the desk beside you and everything on the wall and stuff.
Yeah, definitely will not work. I'll just leave it. It's fine. I'm just having way too much fun with this.
Greg, are y'all talking about legit lounges or bars or music clubs? Legit. I used to actually perform at a lounge-ish place out in Burbank, in that area.
Which one was that called?
It was called the Smokehouse Bar and Grill.
Oh yeah, I know the Smokehouse.
Yeah. You basically like would just come in. There was like a stage, like a tip jar and everything, and there's like a lounging area where you just kind of sit and watch. You can order drinks or whatever. If you really wanted to, you could order food, but chances are you wouldn't. But
he gets a little ADD on these podcasts. Well, the problem is when I'm playing a game, I have something to focus on and also provide commentary. But when I'm just sitting here looking at chat and talking, I have that extra like 2/3 of my brain to just deal with everything else, and it's not doing anything.
you need to get like a fidget cube or something.
I have one somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I have one somewhere, I think. And they don't help. Not enough.
No, not at all. Oh well,
No.
they help a little, but just not enough.
Like, it's not enough things to distract me with it. I probably would not be able to use a fidget spinner either, because like once you spin it, what are you gonna do? Watch it spin? What can you do after that?
Spin it faster.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, that same buddy of ours yesterday got a fidget spinner for his birthday, and he was just staring at it like, really,
Really, guys? Come
really.
on. Don't do this to me.
I mean, like, at least the body pillow is somewhat practical, albeit a little lewd.
Okay, that was the highlight of the night. Don't speak ill
It
of the
was.
body pillow.
It was. Oh God, dude, I've never seen a group of 30 people chanting, "Get it off," or
Oh, I
something
have.
like. What was it that they said?
They were saying "open it" repeatedly.
That's right. Open it. Yeah. God, it was so dumb. It was great. Like they basically like captured the room. I think that was the entire point.
Pretty good.
Shit.
I was talking.
I
Keep
couldn't
up with chat right now.
get it all.
Goodness. But yeah, I don't. Do you guys think VR can change any more than it does? Because like we did some VR games today, and like as immersive as it was, after like 10 seconds or not 10 seconds, like 10 minutes of getting used to something, it's like not quite as immersive anymore. You know?
There are a couple things you can do. One is making it wireless so that you can move around in an open area. 2 is having an open area. 3 is having like one of those fucking omnidirectional treadmills or something.
Yeah.
What was I on? 4. Like maybe more advanced controllers or a lighter headset would be really nice.
Yeah.
In fact, a lighter headset might be like a thing that would make it even easier to get into VR nowadays. It's already
Having a
like
Switch.
Don't even talk to me about the Switch pulling off VR.
Please,
It would be like those people who stick your fucking Galaxy phone into a piece of cardboard and you're like, "Oh, this is VR." And then they're like, "Wow, I've tried VR. VR sucks." And I'm like, "You have not tried VR. I can assure you of that much."
You know what VR is going to be? It's going to be a destination attraction. Because the problem is a lot of times people can't they can't fit VR in like their space. Like a lot of people have a small computer area and you just can't do VR and you're out of luck, you know? But what I've seen happening and what's been happening is they have like, for lack of a better word, VR arcades where you go and you rent them by the 30 minutes or by the hour. You pay 10 or 15 bucks, get it for 30 minutes. And you play VR games. A lot of them it's like you sit in a chair, just like a regular chair, and you go on a roller coaster, and you do that, and you go to a different roller coaster, or you play a different game, and it's like a destination because there's not people don't have a good enough setup like computer-wise, their computer can't run it, or B, they don't have enough room, so they go to these places. And I think that's where it's heading, honestly, just because it's such a niche market that it has to fit in for a consumer, you know?
Yeah. If they had things like that to kind of consolidate the non-product buys, like having areas of people who can pay a little bit of money, give it a try, especially since it's like a $700 investment, and I had never touched a VR headset except for an Oculus Rift while my thing was being ordered, my Vive.
Yeah.
And like up until that point, I had never experienced VR, so I had no idea what it was going to be like, because there's very few places where you can even try it. So let alone being it at a demo or just like, VR arcade where you can kind of do that. That's true. Also, completely another thing. I had an idea for a VR game. And it's like,
Go for it.
I want this to be real because it would make so much sense. So you know how like the problem with like fighting in VR, like Gorn and stuff, you can't really have like the resistance of swinging your sword or whatever because they can't block it, right? It's just going to go through whatever it touches.
Yeah.
What if you have they were saying a mech? I had this idea. You know how in some of those like anime or like in Gundam, I think they have like that thing where you're in the pilot suit and it kind of mimics your actions, but it's not like exact. What if you just did that? Right? So like you're in the pilot seat and you're like combating, so that the mech is just gonna try its best in like a physical space to emulate what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if your fist gets caught on something, you're gonna have to like correct it. That would be fucking cool.
They've done stuff. They've done stuff like that where they have like a fighter plane simulations where you're like in a cockpit. You have the control. You have the you're dealing with like all the resistance of air. Every time you crash into something, you actually feel like the jerking motion. It's not like it hasn't been tried, but to that extent. Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to see that.
No, but
happen,
I'm not even necessarily saying a pilot seat. I'm saying just an idea so that you could have like mech combat, but put in a space where you won't have that dissonance between where your hand is and where your like sword should be, right? I'm just saying put you in the pilot
to do that,
seat.
you'd still have to have something that would give you resistance, because you can't have just like two remotes like you would with the HTC Vive. You know.
Why?
Because if you want to like feel that resistance, you'd actually have to make it so that there's
you don't
a
need to feel
resistance
resistance.
mechanism.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's a mech suit that's trying its best to emulate what you're doing in the cockpit. Mm-hmm. So the resistance is happening to the mech outside, which you can see your fist like colliding with stuff, and then you're like, oh shit, the mech is like, it can't go all the way through because there's a big mech blocking my fist right now.
Yeah.
And it would kind of solve the problem of close quarters combat in VR, which is why I thought it would be such a cool idea. But
so you think it would be like a room around you, big glass thing like in this area where you can actually like see the giant metal fist in the background?
Like you'd be in the in the fucking head of the mech. So you could see your body moving around in the physical space, and you'd have physics enabled like arms and stuff, right? So you'd be able to punch, and then if someone attacks you, you'd have to react. It's not like you're getting hit in the face, right? You're inside a mech. You're already protected. So it's not even the dissonance of getting hit in the face like you would be in like Gorn or Windlands or something like that, because you're already you're simulating a simulated space. And I think that's an interesting idea, because that's like so perfect for VR, because you're already like putting on like a visor or whatever, or you're putting on like the things or you're holding the controllers in your hand in the mech suit, I just think I like that idea.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody else has had that idea somewhere. I'm sure they're probably building that world.
I hope so. If you haven't, please credit me. Thank you.
Well, I mean, like, there's so many different possibilities with VR. The fact that like some of this stuff hasn't been done is just surprising, Like, there's so many like people who make such innovative game, like such spectacles, Like I'd be amazed if there wasn't somebody out there who wasn't saying like, okay, we need to fund this, we need to try it, we need to prototype it, whatever, Like Panoptis was one of those like, that's such a great inventive idea to have a 2-player game in that kind of setup.
Yeah.
that's not something that most people would have thought for VR. Most people are just thinking a VR experience is plopping you into a world with the headset and the headset alone. You know,
Yeah.
or like doing the Star Trek one where you have 4 different HTC Vives set up, or 4 different VR headsets like set across like a bunch of different places where they're all playing a different role, kind of like Lovers of a Dangerous Space Time, you know, like that. Like there's definitely people out there who are making good strides in VR, and then there's people who are making average VR games. But
Well,
it's not like people aren't probably like coming up with this kind of stuff,
it's because of what Greg said in the chat, where
Mm.
you're not going to spend a bunch of time and resources on something that most definitely will not sell well.
True. Yeah, that's the most valid reason. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember last week how we said, or 2 weeks ago, how we said do the kazoo? We did the whole do the kazoo thing.
Yes.
So, I promised last week or 2 weeks ago that I would do the same kazoo thing for however many followers we got last podcast. We got 7, so you're gonna get 7 kazoos at 10 o'clock. Just so you guys know.
Hell yeah.
Go
Tell all your friends to follow for more kazoos.
every podcast I will do that. Anytime somebody new follows, that's one more scratch on the counter. I'll just more kazoos every week. Hopefully, we can get to the point where I can't kazoo anymore.
Wait,
Yeah,
so what if
that's
I
right.
unfollow and then refollow? Does that
Doesn't count? That's cheating.
Doesn't? How would you know?
How would I? Because it's the same person.
What if I made more accounts? Ooh.
Then that technically works. Didn't Brunettalicious do that, or Blondelicious? Do
Yeah,
that?
she did.
Yeah, she made a whole new account and literally did do the kazoo with that, and I was like, I guess you're right.
It worked.
It technically counts. I can't say no. Like, it's definitely inventive, so you can't say it doesn't work,
I would never.
It was the I'm not Blondelicious, I swear. That's the other profile. Yeah, we got like a whole bunch of new people like following us because of the dumb kazoo thing. It's not dumb, but
It was pretty dumb.
it was pretty dumb.
I think that's almost the definition of.
Oh my god. We played Drawful while we were at that party, and it was so funny. We were playing with it was like a bunch of us guys, and there was one girl there. We were more or less tame, couple, 1 or 2 penises drawn or whatever. Leaves.
They were good ones, okay?
Sure, because you were the only one who drew them.
Yeah.
The next round we played, she left, and it just got way more graphic for no goddamn reason. And just a lot of us were just drawing some really gross shit.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's fun though. It's a lot of fun. The amazing kazoo thing, you mean? Yeah.
You made a pun that's already in the name. Why?
You mess with the topic so much now.
You got to keep everybody updated. It's important.
Secret squirrel. But it's so dumb. Some of those games, like, you can really just cheese the people. Like, you can almost human engineer like some of your answers to be like, people are going to pick this answer because people are that dumb.
Exactly.
It's a lot of fun doing that, though. It's pretty off. This podcast is off to a hell of a start. Thanks. What the hell are you writing?
Don't worry about it.
I'm so confused.
I like being the topic namer. You know what? I should just constantly talk through the topic. I shouldn't.
Oh, here comes one. Let's go.
I shouldn't even talk
This-
anymore.
Wait, there's so much text.
Oh goodness. So here's something new. While we were on hiatus, Switch did this. Nintendo did this this thing called Nintendo Direct, where they do a 45-minute YouTube stream, blah blah blah, where they talk about all their upcoming progress and all this like new stuff they're going to be releasing. They announced that Doom and Wolfenstein 2 are both going to be coming to the Switch, which is pretty fucking big. Like the fact that they're actually bringing the full newer games with DLC and all to the Switch is like, goddamn, dude. Like I just didn't think they'd ever be able to pull that off. I kind of figured that was just going to be like a non-issue.
I think it's going to be really interesting seeing how it works. What is the actual physical properties of the screen on the Switch?
I want to say it's 720.
720.
Yeah.
I think it's 720 and then it's upscaled for the dock.
Okay. I think it'll be really interesting to see how they're going to get the newer games on it, because it's not a secret. The hardware is not good. So I think it'll be nice and it'll be awesome to be able to play those games in a portable form on the Switch. But the thing is like, if I've already played Doom already, like, why would I? What are they adding to it to make it worth it for me to buy it on the Switch? You know, like what is the new? What am I benefiting from this? Why would I do it? You know, and that's what I'm concerned about.
Well, you have to remember that with Nintendo, a lot of their fans just don't have a PC. And they don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation. They always just kind of stick to their roots. Case in point, you know. Like that's really who it's catered to, because like Skyrim's on PC, has been for the last 6-7 years.
2012, 2011.
2011, so 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like it hasn't been overdone, re-released to death, but now it's on a new console, and all they have to do is really kind of just change a couple of the settings. It's no real cost to them,
Yeah.
John plays Skyrim. Cue the Always Sunny in Philadelphia music.
I love that. I love those like jokes. Whenever they start playing just some guy says one line and it's just like John tries to whatever. But yeah, I've actually been watching a lot of my roommate play Skyrim. It looks okay. I don't know. I may not try it just because like I think I'll just watch Shelby play it and just be like, all right, that's how I'm glad you're having fun with it.
See, Skyrim, it'll maybe blow your mind at first if you play it, because like you don't notice how like I think it's a terrible game. And
okay.
That's not really a controversial opinion for most people, because it's like, gameplay-wise, mechanically, it's not good. It's really good in terms of like being able to interact with the world, and it's one of the most open games you'll ever play, and it's shitty for that reason. But the fact that you can interact with everything is really cool. They accounted for so much shit that you can do in the game, which is really, it's neat for sure. And if you've never encountered a game that can do that, Skyrim will blow your mind. It's also shit until you can mod it, but you won't be able to mod it.
Yeah, not on the Switch.
Unlucky. Yeah, I think, I don't know how many hours I put into Skyrim. I put way more than I'd like to admit, though. And the thing about Skyrim is it's reminiscent of older RPGs. You're able to sort of do what you want, and the story, as much as it can, it sort of forms to that. You could go join the Stormcloaks or the Empire, the Imperials, and the story will sort of play around with that to a point. It's not. If it was to be released today, it would be a lot different than it is, obviously, and it would be a lot more inclusive of the different story types. But I think for what it is, it gives you the opportunity to do whatever you want through either story or mods or whatever. And I think a lot of that's going to get lost in the Switch, literally because of the lack of mods,
Yeah. Yeah, that's like another thing too. It's hard to just kind of, allow full freedom for that kind of stuff. But again, it's a handheld. It's a handheld more than it is an actual console.
Yeah.
You gotta like kind of make the cuts here and there. I mean, even differences between the Wii U and the 3DS. They would release like one versus another, and the differences there would be tremendous. Like for example, Super Mario Maker, you'd be able to share with everybody on the Wii U. You couldn't actually on the 3DS. You'd actually have to make it, and you could only share to other 3DS people. You couldn't share to the Wii U people who had already had all the people buy it there, and no one, maybe I think 2 million had bought it on the 3DS. Like going between like one group to another, where one doesn't have as much of maneuverability. I don't know.
Which I think that's weird. I think that's a cop out by them. Rather than fixing the issue, they're just band-aiding it.
Yeah, and whatever. I mean, let's face it. The fact that they're bringing it to a Nintendo console is a blessing from the skies to its own right.
For Nintendo people.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, even so, like at this point, like I have access to both Mark, Marshall, Steph. I've got people who have this kind of console, and for example, I've got my own roommate who's got an Xbox 360, plays it on there. I'd be happy to play it on there. It's a Nintendo game. I don't expect anything phenomenal about it.
I think your internet's dying, John.
Yeah, a little bit at a time.
Yeah, what's been going on? What's happening?
You just kind of like lagging a bit.
Really? Sorry. Yeah, I don't get the best internet from this room.
It's okay. Well, what else have we got?
Well, I also they also announced on that Square Enix was working for a Nintendo exclusive RPG. What was it called? Let me look this up because I completely forgot. But they put out a demo for it, and Octopath Traveler, Project Octopath Traveler. That's what it's called.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, I tried it out. I tried the first hour or whatever of the demo, and it's pretty good. I have to. Art style is very unique. So if you want to put it up onto the the trailer screen or whatever, it's really pretty. It's like a weird mix of like 3D and pixel art.
Really hope they change the name though.
They will, and it actually says that it's a working title too, because not set to come out until 2018, a spring or whatever. But it is wonderful. Yeah, it's like a mix of like hand drawn, 3D and then pixel art, which is just phenomenal.
It's definitely all pixel art, and then they just put it in a 3D environment.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So like. That's what I'm talking about. They use the pixel art for the people, but everything else is like done differently.
No,
the landscape is very well done.
Even the landscape is pixel art.
I think the landscape is pixel art. It's just it's tiled.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Like that spot that they were crossing the bridge. That's like the beginning of it, and then for the way that the demo is that you get to play as two characters. It's like 8 different characters that intersect into like a singular story. And that big guy is actually the boss that I'm actually having troubles beating right now.
Working title.
But yeah, it's like really really cool. I've been enjoying the crap out of it. And if either of you guys ever want to try it, like there's obviously like the Switch has its own like profile system. So if you guys want to ever like run through it for a little bit, the two classes that they have right now are Warrior and Dancer, and they've got like full voice acting and everything, which is like it's actually really good voice acting, like to my surprise. Very, very well done. Except for this, like,
watch somebody play through the first section, and they did beat the boss. I mean, aside from the like, how you can use up turns like in Bravely Default, there isn't much like new about it when in terms of like RPG style. Obviously the biggest thing that stands out is the art style, and in all honesty, the pixel art is really nice, but the like all the crazy effects on everything, like there's like this hardcore fucking sepia filter all over the world. And hold on, let me pull up the video again. Path Traveler. It's I don't like the way that it looks personally. Like there's too much shit going on, and it kind of takes away from the distinctiveness of the art. And I think they did it so that they could have all these crazy weird like lighting effects when the battles happen. And that's fine. I don't know. I don't think the art style is completely coherent. It does look nice on, like, take a still frame, it looks pretty cool. But like seeing it in motion is a little weird. And the other thing I was thinking about was when they fought somebody, when you fight them, you have to go into a battle sequence, and then no matter where you are, they always look the same. Whereas I think if this were the case, they wouldn't even have had to do like drop into a battle sequence. Why couldn't they have just done the battles in the overworld? That would have been pretty interesting.
It feels like it looks like it's built to be a mobile game, you know, like it's meant to be on the Switch. But at the same point, I don't see any reason why it's on the Switch as opposed to mobile games in general. You know, like I don't see why it's not an app. I don't see anything that stands out. But it's definitely meant to be a mobile game, and that's what the turn-based RPGs are for, you know? Because me personally, I'm more... Turn-based is great. I think it has a place, and that place is mobile games. But I honestly appreciate the real-time strategy, either of actual sword-to-sword fighting or directing things real-time. But, you know, that's an opinion that I have, and I don't know how many other people have that. So it's not being marketed to me. I probably wouldn't buy it, but that's
kind of like Final Fantasy 15 was.
Even that's a whole that's a different can of worms.
That's obviously like a much bigger deal, but like that has an active combat system. So is that like something you would be more akin to? Okay.
Final Fantasy games generally aren't my thing, just because I'm not a fan of big epic bosses, which a lot of times they're done really well, and it makes you feel like a hero. And I think that's what those games are meant to do. That you're gonna be a hero. You're gonna kill this huge monster, and that's awesome. But for me, it sort of removes me from the game, because I see this huge monster. I'm like, why is that? Like, how did that thing get built? Why is that thing there? How did it get to this point that we have to kill it now? You know? Didn't somebody see it when it was getting big and say, "Oh no, we should do something"? It's like,
so you have logic gets in your way with a lot of this stuff then.
Not even that. It's just sort of like, the biggest thing is, why is it even here? Why didn't you do something?
I kind of agree.
So how do you feel? Yeah, go ahead.
In 15 though, like the general idea of it is everyone's like locked themselves up inside of a city, and there are very few people outside of that city, and it's been like that for years until you finally had to like venture out. So there's been plenty of times for monsters to like breed, but
no, I'm sure it makes sense. Like just for me, I can't see it.
But
how do you feel about Shadow of the Colossus then?
That's one of the other ones. Everybody loves it, and I've never had any, like, for lack of a better word, alone time. I've never just like played it, but from what I've seen, there's a lot of climbing on big monsters, and I feel like either A, those monsters are really dumb to let you be doing that, or B, they're like, how did they get this big in the first place? Which I'm sure the story explains it, and that's fine. And I'm sure it makes sense in the world, and that's awesome. It's just not, not my cup of tea. I'm not a fan of the big, huge enemy monsters. But I know there's a place.
I could kind of see that when you were playing with Nier. You were just like, I'm done now. Thank you.
There was a lot of shooting at the big bosses. My not quote ideal boss fight, but I like. There's a boss, and sure, he's like a bullet sponge or like a hit sponge or whatever you want to call it. But, there's other side objectives that you're doing at the same time rather than, oh, now I have to take out his legs, or, oh, now I have to shoot his eye. Or, I'm a fan of making these bosses not, quote, realistic, but, like, if I'm pumping 3,000 bullets into its arm, it should do something more than like, oh, that sort of hurt, I guess I'll use this attack now.
Yeah, I get you.
But I know there's a lot of people that love that. I played Dark Souls, and I'm so bad at it. So bad.
Well, I mean, that's kind of exactly how that game goes, because there are points where the boss will be taking a lot of damage. It's like, hey, fuck you, guy, I'm going to completely change my moveset now.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing I see with that, people, they'll play it on, like, bananas or something. And I'm sitting here with, like, a controller or a keyboard or whatever, and I'm flailing around like a chimpanzee who's been tased. And I just... and I cannot get it. I'm like, okay, I know I need to dodge it, I need to do it like this, and then I get hit again because I'm dumb. And that's...
Honestly, just practice, dude. It's just practice. Yeah, exactly.
I gotta sit down and feel bad enough to do it.
Marshall...
Yeah.
What's great this time or so that's been brought up.
That is great, actually. I completely agree with the fact that it's brought up again.
How are we looking?
Fine, Mr. Robot.
We as a lot of people. Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
You downloaded something there, buddy?
What was I talking about? Sorry.
Dark Souls.
Don't know if it was Dark Souls. Oh, right. This is like the 5th time that the banana and like other ways that people play thing has been brought up on this podcast. Like a bunch of people have talked about that before.
Oh, yeah.
Like weird ways to play a game.
And it all works, and it's awesome, and I love seeing people do it. I just feel stupid when I can't do it on a regular controller.
Yeah.
I think the most impressive one I've seen was someone who did it all with voice commands.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And he did it like, it had like a 3-second delay, too. He was like, back, forward, dodge. God, that was that was nerve-wracking watching him do that shit.
I could not imagine.
Oh, man.
But I think, sorry, back to the thing with our turn-based RPGs. I don't mind a turn-based RPG at all. I actually really like them most of the time. But the problem with them, the majority of the time, is that they don't really give you many options. More often than not, it kind of just comes down to hit yourself against the thing until it dies. And that kind of happens a lot in many of the RPGs that I play. And generally they fall into this very shallow experience where you have one person with one action and they're going to do this thing every time they start the battle. Like I was playing Final Fantasy X and it was like either I attack first turn or I use my only magic damage dealer and just keep hitting them with magic until they die. there wasn't a whole lot to it, and the only time where it would ever really shine is when you get to the bosses. And that's why I really like games where you restore all your health at the end of the battle, because then every battle hi Dad, I'm streaming. Good night. Games where you restore all your health at the end of the battle, because they can let you have way more leniency in the strategy that you take, because every battle is a battle for your life. Whereas in games where you keep the persistent health bar, enemies have to be complete pushovers every time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ooh,
What happened?
Nightbot's
What
kicking in.
What did
Lynn's
you...
getting aggressive in chat, apparently.
Lynn, what did you post?
Goodness, what the heck? We got a lot of blacklisted spam warning.
Whew. Jesus. But basically...
Oh, I think that was done on purpose. Wait, why?
I basically
Hell?
want
Sorry, go ahead.
a game where when you do something, like when you have a battle, you have to have layers of strategy, because I don't like just mindless clicking. I want a game that, if it's a strategy game, I want to strategize, There are some places for mindless clicking, and that's fine. Farming is fine, but if I'm progressing in a story or something, I want to be challenged, like an XCOM or yeah, things like that.
Or Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle,
which I watched a few people play, and it's very infuriating because they don't use cover and they also don't see anything.
Is that like actually a good game?
I mean, it's XCOM for babies, but
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it was like really toned down.
Well, of course, it kind of has to be if it's going to be a Mario game.
I mean, not even that, like, mechanic.
If they just said, hey, XCOM's coming to the Switch, then they wouldn't have toned it down.
I would be about that. That would be
Doom
the
on the Switch.
Perfect game.
It would work really well, yeah. I don't know why it wouldn't.
The big problem with it is that it kind of competes with Fire Emblem a little bit, which is kind of why, like, I think... What? What did you just say?
I don't say anything.
Don't fucking knock it. You know there will be hell on earth if you do that.
All I'm saying is I think XCOM is a more difficult game and also more fun than Fire Emblem, personally.
Yeah? You ever try Fire Emblem on hard mode?
I haven't really even tried Fire Emblem, except for the times where we played it. But I've watched it being played, and it looks really boring.
Ooh.
Boring and hard, not synonymous. Like, a game can be hard and still boring.
XCOM is not boring.
I disagree. I lost interest after about 4 hours of playing.
Because one of your guys dies, from what I heard, and you got frustrated and stopped playing.
No, you're right.
Little birdie told me that.
Little birdie called Steph.
Yeah.
Who was who I was playing it with.
The trick is to name all of your dudes after people in your real life. Mm-hmm. So when one of them dies, you actually feel like, oh, I just killed Marshall, And I find that so much more fun. I think I have like my brother, I have a couple of my friends, and somebody will die and I'll be like, oh, it sucks to be them.
It's true. That is true. I did that as well.
That sounds like a sick way to take out your frustrations on those people.
No, because you want them to live. They're on your team.
Well, some of them you want to live. Others, you're like, oh, guess who's walking in the room first?
Guess who's going to throw a grenade and blow themselves up along with 3 aliens?
See you, Jonathan. Good knowing you.
Oh, man.
You know what could sell it for you, John? Name all your characters after Fire Emblem characters.
There you go.
I'd cry. All of me would be broken.
I made Danny Sexbang in the game.
Why?
He was an Israeli sniper.
Oh, that's great.
He actually looked
That's actually hilarious.
uncannily similar to him too.
Did it? Oh
Yeah.
goodness, that's pretty funny. Hey, so it's. I was gonna say this at 10 o'clock, but we were on a topic and I didn't want to interrupt it. It's 10:13 now, as I promised. It's kazoo time.
Oh, let's go.
Kazoo time. Ooh, do we have music for this? What do I do with my hands?
John, do you want a song to play while you do this?
What song are you gonna play?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Is do you want a song? Pick a track.
I mean,
I got Spotify.
could
right
while I
here.
get it on.
Go. Give me a song.
I'll tell you what. You guys have to give me a counter for every time I put one in.
Oh
What
wait.
about right says
Oh.
Fred.
Oh, there's a kazoo version of the final countdown. Let's go. Final countdown kazoo
Oh,
cover.
let's go.
Oh god.
Oh,
Because I'm only hearing it on stream, that's why.
Oh no. Wait, it's actually like pretty
Oh, no.
good. I thought it was gonna be like memes only. But it's actually like pretty good kazoo work. I don't. Is there such a thing as pretty good kazoo work?
Yeah. This is it. I found it.
Hey, how do you kazoo again? I forgot already. There it is. Yeah. Is it the short end or the long end?
It's apparently the short end. That's what this guy's
Okay,
doing,
right.
and I believe in his talents.
Okay. Oh yeah.
You got some practice with this. It looks like.
Bro, 12 of these in your mouth will spread them wide. That's what I'll tell you.
We've been there before. That was fucking intense, dude. Oh, hold on. Let's do hold on. Kazoo cover of Megalovania. There you go.
So once you get it in your mouth, you have to look us in the eyes and just start blowing.
Mhm.
I know. I can't wait. I just the fatter end is a lot harder to put in more of them.
Oh, I get that a lot.
All right.
Wait, that one doesn't even make sense.
Man, this is really fucking engaging content.
It's only 6. It's not enough.
This is maybe the best thing that's ever.
Wait, how many kazoos do you have?
I only have 7, but the last time I did this, I was using the smaller end. God damn it!
Do the smaller end. Fuck it.
Do the smaller end? Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get it somehow. 7 will be easy. The smaller end though.
Wait, that's so scary.
Do the kazoo! We did it.
We did it. Alright, and here's how it works. Anytime we get a new follower, the next week, that's how many kazoos go in my mouth.
Oh my god.
So,
This is stupid.
that's how it is from now on.
If we ever become wildly famous in one single day, John, you're fucked.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
50
I
kazoos.
cannot wait. I'll have to put these kazoos back, god damn it.
Let's be real, it's kind of your fault for spitting them out, but
What?
it's kind of your fault for spitting them out. Please
What about-
spread the word, people. We need 1 million followers.
Yeah, I need 1 million kazoos in my mouth.
Ooh.
But yeah, we did that last week. It was a lot of fun. But goddamn, dude. Goddamn if I didn't know what to do with my mouth.
You just need more practice, babe.
You wanna help me out with that one?
Well, I mean, I'm not really good at blowing kazoos, if you catch my drift.
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah, I don't know. You do you. We'll be a passive participant.
I feel like at this point we need to start like a whole thing where we're just like, thanks to following people who followed us, and then just do the kazoo. Right? Because then you get a shout out and everything.
It might be better, yeah. When somebody follows you, just go doot, and that's your thing. There you go.
I could
That's
duck
what I
whistle
said last week.
I could
Yeah,
duck
I said that
whistle
last
every
week too,
time.
Mark.
Ooh.
Yeah, duck whistle is intense.
It's a salty duck whistle.
So, this last week, I've been having a problem. And it's called my second favorite Fire Emblem character is now out for Fire Emblem Heroes.
Second favorite, John.
Yeah.
Tell us more about him.
Oh, no, I'm not
so
Lynn.
excited. Don't sound so excited. I'll just quickly say it. Black Knight came out, and something that should have taken me a week to do, I did it in 4 hours. And I'm not proud of it. But I did it.
Do go on, John. Tell us everything.
Do you really want me to sit there? Because you don't even look excited about this.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Some people's favorite character is Lynn. Sorry, I'm an Ike guy. But anyway, you were telling me before the podcast that some stuff was going on between PUBG and Fortnite. I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
Oh yeah, the old PUBG Fortnite thingy. Okay, Narshall, do you know much about this?
Yeah. I've actually not been following, but I know about what's going on.
Okay. So like the thing is, Ike is overrated.
Ike is not overrated. He's the best character in all of Fire Emblem, and I dare you to challenge me otherwise.
Marth was the best.
Wrecked.
Marth is not.
Okay,
You
well,
wanna know what place-
she's the best girl.
Mark is the best.
Do you want to know what place Marth was voted on the popularity contest?
What?
9th. Do you want to know who got first place?
Was it Lynn?
No, it was Ike. Do you want to know who got 5th place?
Was it... I don't know.
Also Ike. Ike got in twice before Marth did.
Wait, why did he get in twice? That feels
He's in 2 games.
Oh, well.
He's in 2 games. He got voted in twice before Marth did. So Marth, he ain't popular. Although to be fair, Lynn was voted the #1 unit of all the people. So in that case, yes, Lynn is technically the most popular on that vote.
Did you see the thing I sent, John?
No, I'll take a look right now. What are we looking at?
XCOM.
I made Danny Sexbang in XCOM 2.
Oh, that's too funny.
Isn't it really fucking close?
That's hilarious. You should send that. You should send that to the actual Danny Sexbang.
That was in the Game Grumps subreddit like a year ago.
Was it? Never mind then.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I kind of things just took a turn for the left.
I know you had to defend your girl. It's okay. So essentially, what's been going on with PUBG and Fortnite is that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is licensed through Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine was made by Epic Games. Epic Games made Fortnite. So essentially, Epic Games, when they first licensed the Unreal Engine for PUBG, they were like, "Hey, we'll help you with the battle royale stuff, the 100v100 netcode, because that's fucking hard to do. We'll optimize and we'll help you out with this battle royale stuff." And then PUBG's like, "Hey, thanks Unreal, you guys are real cool dudes. And then Unreal is all like, now let's make this battle royale in our new game Fortnite that's going to be free to play and basically rip off literally every single mechanic from PUBG except for squads and proning and fun loot. And
Isn't that suable?
I don't
Like,
know
that's
actually
something
because I think it's I don't know if it's just far enough away. So essentially what they did to make it different was they let people still do the crafting from Fortnite, meaning you could create structures in the game, which it's a little jank. I have Fortnite and I've played it and I generally like the game, but even I think that this is like pretty weird. Like it's just a little shady.
It's cartoony, the game itself.
Yeah, the game is cartoony and it's different enough, but it's not different enough. You know what I mean? Like they have
It almost reminds me of Borderlands.
It is
It's a
kind of
similar art style, yeah.
I would almost cross it, but like Borderlands, and then like a little bit of gameplay mechanics from like Minecraft or something. That's almost how I'd liken Fortnite to. Like the major issue with this is not because they have done the battle royale thing, because obviously they don't own a genre. It'd be like saying they own first-person shooters, but like down to the med kits and like first aid kits and bandages, those mechanics are basically exactly the same. The way that people drop in 100 versus 100, there's the parachutes, like there's so many weird similarities. And the main reason why that's a bad thing, even if it was like perfect clone, the fact that they licensed it through Unreal or through Epic and pay them royalties for their creation of the game, and the fact that they are the biggest indie hit on the Unreal Engine like in fucking the last 10 years almost, it's a little bit weird for them to be like, hey, let's undermine the success of someone who's using our engine and garnering us business and goodwill, saying, hey, look, we made a cool game for a cool engine, you guys should, more people can use it. Epic already makes a fuck ton of money, like from just people using their engine all the time. So many people have licensed their engine, and they're making a bunch of games completely for free. One of them being Fortnite. Fortnite is going to be free to play. So it's just strange for them to completely undermine the success of one of the biggest success stories they've had in years. Just
Well, I think the biggest difference is the gunplay, which is in games like this, not games like Battle Royale, but games like first-person shooters in general and third-person shooters. The gunplay is what separates the game from everything else. It could be the same exact game, but if you played CS:GO, if you were to put CS:GO-like mechanics, like recoil adjustment where you're not shooting where you're aiming, and if you slap that into a Battle Royale game, it's a different game. It could look exactly the same, but it plays different because now you have recoil patterns you have to learn, and you can be objectively better than somebody else at this game because you know the recoil patterns. So even if it's so similar that, first aid kits, med kits, everything is the same, Fortnite has bases. That changes the game. You build a base and you say, yeah, try me, come get me out of this base. And that's a different mechanic, and that hugely changes the meta, that changes the game itself. And it's similar to what Battlegrounds did to H1Z1. H1Z1 is very fast. You hop out of the car, you spray somebody down. And literally just by changing it, so if you hop out of the car at high speeds in Battlegrounds, you take a lot of damage. They changed the mechanic to a slower game. And now you're more focused on getting that first headshot, and you're going to be sneaky until you hit somebody. Mm-hmm. And H1Z1 and Battlegrounds had this issue before, where it's basically the same game, just different, And I think by differentiating it enough in that sense, I think they're fine. And it is competition, but at the end, that just benefits us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be competition. Yeah. I just think they raised a concern in a recent PC Gamer article saying, like, since Unreal was kind of helping them out for quite a while with the engine and like optimizing all these things for the PlayerUnknown's or the battlegroundsy experience, they're like, well, like, what if they start now making things for their own thing and using the shit that they help, like, that we made to just, like, capitalize on it.
Oh yeah, no, I can see where that would be not problematic, but I can see where people get upset over that. But at the same point, it is their engine, you know, and they can do whatever they want by helping Battlegrounds optimize their game. They helped every other game that does this too. It's not they're stealing the code and saying, all right, thanks, this is ours. It is helping every other game that's run on this engine, and it just so happens that this is one of them, you know?
Well, yes, but also Fortnite was not that game before this.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I feel like Fortnite will no longer be what Fortnite used to be anymore because of this.
Yeah.
And Fortnite was a pretty interesting game, and it had a lot of cool things going for it, and I wanted to see what happened to it when it came out of early access. But I have a very strong inclination that it's going to go H1Z1's route and just be like, we didn't have a game before that. Fuck that stuff. We're just going to do the Battlegrounds thing, or we're just going to do the King of the Hill thing.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I think that's the next route that game is taking. You know, in the last 5 or 10 years, it was open world. Oh, we need open world games. I need to be able to go wherever I want. Which, sure, that's awesome. That's great. But now I think the next era of games is going to be Battle Royale.
Right.
Because it's what people want. You get a 30-minute game, 40-minute game, and if you're good, you can win. If not, hop into a new one, you know? It's no skin off your back. You get to go play again in 3 minutes. And I think it's interesting seeing where all this goes, because, you know, it was single-player games with hardcore arena shooters in early 2000s, you know? Like you get Quake or Unreal Tournament. And then it was single-player games with, like, large open worlds, Skyrim, and I guess the tail end of that is Breath of the Wild. And I think it's always interesting to see where it's going next.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main thing about these the Battle Royale type games is they fill, like, a new niche of, like, adrenaline rush, right? Like you said, that 3 minutes, though, between matches is enough that people actually care about the outcome of the game they're currently in, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in an arena shooter or like Call of Duty or something, you just die and get right back into the game, and it's literally no difference. You will be playing up from the beginning to the end of the game, no matter what you do, right? Unless it's like one of those weird game modes where you don't respond. But in a battle royale where there's so many stakes, your odds in winning in a solo game are 1 in 100, right? That's if you play well, you know. It's so much more meaningful when you finally do win, because there is only one winner, you know, or there's only one team that wins.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you know, Call of Duty, there's no real consequences to dying or anything. And that's why I think those are kind of taking off, is because it's kind of like it's weirdly like XCOM or something, where it's like permadeath, but per run, you know.
Yeah.
You lose your progress, but you can get back to it. You can find all this cool stuff. You're like, oh yes, I found an AR suppressor, and then you die, and you're like, fuck! Like, oh, that was such a good run.
Yeah. Which I think is a totally different issue. I enjoy PUBG. I play PUBG. I like it. But with games similar to PUBG, where it's loot based and per round, a lot of it's based on luck. You know, like I could be the best player in the world, but if I drop and I don't find a backpack, good luck, you know? And you see that with all these big streamers now. You see it with Shroud, Dr. Disrespect. And, you know, some games, they just die because somebody found a shotgun before them.
Yeah.
You know? And it doesn't matter how good they are. And I see that with games like this and games like Hearthstone and other, like, sure, there's a lot of skill that goes into these games. But at the same point, there's a large portion of it that is, did I draw the right card or did I find the right loot? And that, a lot of that gets in my way of enjoyment, because I'll just be like, I got screwed because the game said I did.
Well,
you know?
like, you have to understand that people do have to die, right? You can sometimes you have to be like, okay, I was just the ambient noise, the one name in the kill feed that's going by because the game has to progress. And yeah, there is some RNG, and there is also a large layer of strategy in mitigating that RNG, like dropping in places with high loot tables and not many people, right? Where yes, that is a problem, but more than likely 90% of games you will find 99% of what you need at very least to like survive and continue on.
Yeah.
Well, RNG in that case is that's just how it is. I mean, like sometimes you just have the luck of the draw, or you just don't. Sometimes the heart of the cards is with you. Sometimes it's not.
It's also nice when they make it feel like you are being favored by luck rather than being punished by luck. And in in PUBG, for the most part, you're like, oh, hell yeah, I found an SKS level 2 backpack, level 2 vest, level 3 helm, all in the same place, right? And then some games you're just like, ah, shit, oh, like you know it's right around the corner, just let me search one more house. You don't feel like you're being punished for not having it, too. Especially since everyone starts at the same place, Yeah. Where if people were like, oh, let me get like a crate drop or something, or like let me start off with some bonuses, then you'd probably be a little bit more tilted and unfair. But yeah
exactly, which I'm so glad they haven't done. I'm so glad that the only thing that you can really quote buy with real world money is cosmetics. That's the way it should be. That's the way it needs to stay.
I like the cosmetics and they look cool.
And I think that's fine. I think that's great. I think people who want to put money into the game over on top of what they spent, fine, you can look cool. You can wear that skirt or whatever it is that costs a lot of money right now in the market.
$4,000 coat.
Yeah. Like if you want to do that, be my guest. And if I die to you, I'll say, oh hey, that's cool. I died to somebody who has the vest or whatever it is, But I'm not going to drop any more cash on it.
Yeah.
In fact, I sell the crates right now to get money in my Steam wallet to buy other things.
Nice.
Just because. I have what I want to look like in the game, and that's it. And
I got a couple lucky draws, and I have like a gray coat right now. Oh, dude.
That's nice. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think PUBG has good gunplay for this sort of game, but there's a lot of other games that do it just differently, and in my opinion, a lot better. Just because I'm not a fan of CSGO. I don't like the recoil patterns. I think it's dumb to not be shooting where you're aiming.
See,
and
that's why you only ever use a Desert Eagle. Fixes that problem right up. That's what I do. Yeah.
Or an op. If I have to play CSGO, it's an op all the way. Just not because, I want to be the designated opper, but because it shoots where I aim it.
Yeah.
But my game of choice is a lot of Battlefield games. And back in the heyday of like Battlefield 4, I was a top 10 in California.
Jesus.
And it was just because of the gunplay of that game. And there's so much that has to do with cover, which is a big thing in PUBG now.
Yeah.
You get a tree, and that's not great cover, but you get a whole building, you can run around, peek from different spots. That's amazing cover. You have 12 different angles to peek from, and you're going to win the fight unless you're a monkey.
Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I enjoy seeing these games that have really good gunplay and really good it helps the people that are good at the game, and it lets you stand out, and other people see like, oh, I got styled on and there's nothing I can do. But there's also, I think RNG does have a place.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you can't memorize recoil patterns and stuff in PUBG. And someone asked them that on like an AMA, and they're like, no, we don't want that to be the case. We want it to be more reaction based. And I was like, you know what? I greatly agree with that. I don't want recoil patterns. That sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Which is why I use a deagle.
John's over here like, yep, yep, PUBG, yep.
Totally. It's okay.
I
was plotting something else.
Okay.
Tell us your plot.
Well, first, Mark, before I tell you my plot, you're going to have to tell me what time it is.
Time for you to buy a watch. Haha, just kidding. Sponsor time.
Sponsor time! In the small town of Villanova, there's a small village that it's hard to say, but it has a villain-pended way of thinking. The way they like to approach their things is there's almost a villainous tone to the way they want to vilify their acts. And if you guys want me to stop saying vil because of just how dumb this headache is going to be, you should just get some Advil.
Huh. Also, you said in a small town there is a small village.
Yeah, that's right. It's that small. It's an itty bitty.
Wow.
Itty bitty tiny villa. I thought it was like a pun thing that I wanted to work in.
That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But I was thinking about
a sponsorship from Advil.
The village inside of a town the whole time.
I know.
Let's see. Oh, don't click on that.
Wait, now I want to click on that.
Don't click.
Oh no.
Wait, no. Wait, somebody should have warned me about this.
Oh no. Who on earth didn't warn anybody about this? Oh. I want to scrub my eyes.
Wait, I'm worried now. Why
That's
does the dog
actually
look so scared?
It's actually the picture that you see 10 days before you die. That's the one.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh goodness. All right. I don't really have any. Oh, did you guys get the chance to play Destiny 2?
Yes.
Nope.
Marshall, how was it?
Now, seeing as I'm a almost only PC only player, I enjoyed the heck out of the PC beta. Well, I've also played it on release on console, and I played the console beta release. Now, first thing I want to get off my chest is I want to die every time I have to press F1 to open my inventory on PC. And it is bound to that, and you can't change it.
What?
I hate it. You have to press F1.
Why F1, dude?
I don't know.
It's like Bungie never looked at a keyboard and was like, let's pick a better key.
I put it on I for inventory. I don't know.
But tab, fucking even escape would have been better. Basically anything. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah,
anyways, that being aside.
F1 is unright to escape, so...
No, John, you don't understand.
Not as bad.
John,
F1
you don't
is
get
help.
it.
You press F1 for help on anything.
You press F1 for nothing in a game 99.9% of the time except for weird shit that you'll never click on anyway.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, that aside, we're going to gloss over that, even though that is the worst part of the whole game, let me tell you. I definitely haven't put like grinding hours into the console game just because I don't have a console. I don't play it that much. But the PC beta, it's an amazing port from what I've seen so far, which is that was the biggest thing I was worried about, because getting Destiny from a console to a PC players, this is like right up their alley. Destiny, it's a loot-based experience. A lot of first-person shooters. They have a lot of players on PC. So combining those two, you get like a Borderlands experience with the MMO aspects of Destiny. And I think that's awesome. It's great. I don't have anything to say about the longevity of it because, again, I haven't, played the game fully. I've only experienced it in little bits. But I plan on playing it a bunch, if only because it'll fill the void that I have in my life, which is Destiny 2 shaped. I think loot-based shooters are very good for getting players to keep coming back, which, again, back to PUBG, loot-based. Because, every time you show up, there's something new. You have something to work for. You have something new that you picked up, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And I can't speak for Destiny 1, because I never played that.
See, that's why you like Destiny 2, because Destiny 2 is just Destiny 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted. I wanted to play Destiny 1 for the longest time, but again, it wasn't on PC, out of luck. Yeah, exactly. Destiny 2 is basically Destiny 1. They haven't changed anything, except that you don't have to go to orbit every time you want to do something, which is a big deal, apparently.
Yeah, they just kind of streamlined a couple of things.
Yeah.
I remember, so Destiny 1 and 2 have awful writing. Just atrocious. I believe one of the first lines in the game is something like, and everything was really good until it wasn't. or something like that. And they say all these hyper dramatic things in like the dumbest way and present it like it sounds like a 10-year-old who just finished English class is writing this as like a creative writing project, and then like they just kind of, you know, spell checked it and then gave really good voice actors a lot of money to read it out loud. Mm-hmm. That's the impression that I got from the voice acting from Destiny. And there's a really long I Hate Everything video about Destiny 2. This coming from someone, apparently he has like 60 weeks of time in Destiny 1 or something crazy like that. Just a dumb amount of time. And he just hates Destiny 2. He hates it because they didn't improve on anything. They didn't change anything. In fact, I heard that the raid, like the big raid mission that's like the pinnacle of everything, like the reason why people played Destiny 1 was bad. Like it was really, really bad. Like frustrating and hard and like just difficult and annoying and like bad mechanics. And that sounds not so good, because that was 90% of like every time I talked to someone about Destiny, I was like, yeah, I beat the game, I got to the highest level, and then they're like, did you do any of the raids? And I was like, no. And they're like, dude, you didn't play Destiny then. And I was like, I don't know, 20 hours might tell you differently, but you know. And then now I see Destiny 2 and I see these people saying like the end game is trash, like the loot tables are bad, and like it's slightly less rewarding and it has a worse story. And I'm like, well, okay, maybe I won't go pick up Destiny 2. Like the gunplay looks great, the game is fucking beautiful, the soundtrack is just fine. I don't think it's very memorable, but it's really good, well done. But yeah, I don't know.
I've heard similar things. I've heard a little more, like specifically for the raid, I heard everything was good except for this one part called the Pleasure Gardens, which, as fun as it sounds, was apparently trash. It's like sort of stealth based, and you're like hopping around on these jump pads and stuff, and I heard it's like really bad. But other than that, I heard the raid was good. I heard it wasn't as difficult as Destiny 1 raids, which is sort of upsetting.
I also heard it was only one raid, which I was like,
there is,
really? Yeah. Huh.
Because they release raids a certain amount at a time for a lot of games like this. A lot of MMOs that come out, even on, you know, I played WildStar. I played WildStar right when that came out, and that game died in 2 months, that MMO. But they release raids, you know, they'll release one after the first week, and then maybe one a month later, and they spend enough time to get it good and get it fun, and then they shove it out. And so after the first year, you have a good library of raids to choose from, and there's always going to be good ones and bad ones. But the beginning's always a slow starter, and that's just how it is with MMOs, you know?
I was thinking, like, it's like kind of a joke at Destiny's expense, but like, why didn't they just bring in the raids from Destiny 1? It didn't seem like they had any other problems bringing in content from Destiny 1.
Yeah, honestly, and that would have been amazing. I don't see why they cut it, honestly. Like, I agree. I think bringing in content from Destiny 1, what's the harm?
Yeah. I mean, aside from the already major criticisms that there's basically nothing new or different except for a new story.
Yeah, which I heard was better than Destiny 1, at least.
This is Bungie we're talking about. How many times did we have them, you know, driving Halo into the ground? You know, like
honestly, Halo's really good. Halo 1 is one of the, like, still one of the better shooter games of the previous console generation. No,
you're completely right, and like I think that 2 and 3 are just dandy as well. I like ODST and Reach, but people started not liking Halo during the ODST and Reach stuff, which is when their decline started happening. It's just
they took away split screen.
That's it. That's what killed it. Absolutely. First game that they took away split screen.
Which game?
I can Google it. I don't actually. I've never owned an Xbox. I only played at people's houses.
Was it Reach?
Halo 4 was when they got rid of it. I thought
and Halo 4 is when it started really sucking.
Yeah, Halo 4 was bad, and that's when 343 took over. Yeah. Halo 4 was the last Halo I played.
Yeah, ODST and Reach though was getting a lot of flack from people, even though like they were good.
I heard Reach was a lot of people's favorites actually, and it's
a good game.
It was up there for me too, personally. I played a lot. Like Halo 1 and 2 were like my fucking childhood. So
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
know.
some of
Bungie has a tendency of just kind of off-putting their markets after a
I think
while.
they lost
they probably ran
people.
out of ideas after Reach.
I think they lost people. Like, they lost interest in what they originally wanted to do. I remember watching something. It was like a comparison between 343 and Bungie's take on Halo. And, like, the way that Bungie always phrased things was like, we want people to have fun. We want people to go to this next area and be like, wow, this is fucking cool. And, like, there were so many times, like, in Halo 2, like, when you get up on the Scarab tank for the first time, and you have to fucking fight everyone on there, and it's, like, moving around. That was
That's
cool.
the four-legged thing, right?
Yeah, the big fucking giant thing that's crawling through the city, like, blowing shit up, and they're like, hey, you gotta take that down. You're like, what the fuck? I gotta take that shit down. That's so cool. Like, I can't remember. I beat all of Destiny 1. Can't remember a single time that even stuck out to me at all. Right? I mean, I don't know about Destiny 2. I've heard that there are a good amount of set piece moments in the very beginning. And after that point, it kind of goes back to exactly what Destiny 1 was doing. Like the grind, the MMO style-y stuff. And it's like, I don't know. There was never a moment where I had to, like, pause and be like, this shit is crazy, dude. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the difference. It appeals to different people, because this goes back to, we were talking earlier about like the big epic bosses of Final Fantasy. How you sit there and you're like, this is so cool, I'm gonna kill that, and that, like, doesn't appeal to me. But this loot-based grinding, shooting, playing the missions, that's right up my alley. You know.
And by all means, you should enjoy it.
Exactly, and that's the difference. There are different types of games that, you know, appeal to different people, and I think that this Destiny 2 being, even if it is exactly like Destiny 1, I'm gonna play the heck out of it, because, you know, I didn't get to play it on consoles, and I know there are people that don't like it because it came out to PC. I've heard people actually complaining that it's gonna be bad because it's coming out on PC now, you know. But I don't know where I'm going with this.
It's like, I think, like, see, it wasn't just the giant scarab tank, though. Like, there were a lot of moments with small enemies in Halo, like the part where you start playing as the Arbiter and you're like, whoa, I'm an alien man now, and you start off with an energy sword and you're like, oh shit, and then you, like, go up the elevator and you're fighting off a bunch of flood because shit's getting infested. There was never a moment that, like, that stuck out to me, because I don't feel like the enemy variety or the lore in Destiny is good enough. And also, why didn't they put the fucking lore in the game? Why?
Because they came up with it after they made it.
Why isn't it on the... It's on the wiki.
That's what happened.
Why isn't it in the fucking game, though? Why? I don't... Whatever. Yeah, anyway. That's Destiny 2 for you.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
God bless your soul.
Thank you. Oh, crap. Sorry.
You got another one? I mean, we're waiting.
Oh, I've got plenty.
Give it to us.
So we'll move on to the question of the week, I guess, because we're kind of wrapping up here.
Okay.
Sorry, this is making me sound disinterested. My body's just rejecting my soul right now.
Oh, that happens to me a lot.
No, I'm completely in sync. Harmonious.
All right, so question of the week. This week's question is from Lind, also known as Blundelicious. Thank you for sending us like 90 questions. You've basically saved this question of the week for the last 10 weeks. Don't forget to send that email to legacymarkjon@gmail.com. And it reads as follow. Hello, lovely hunky reading this right now. What's up? What is the best game with the worst main villain or final boss, and why? Have fun.
Oh, I had one that just came to my head.
Go.
But no, everyone's gonna hate me.
No,
everyone.
Say it.
I think arguably, saying this, I have very little experience, but from what I've heard, Legend of Zelda, because Ganondorf is gonna kill the entire world every time. Congratulations, you saved the world again from the Ganondorf that's gonna kill everything.
No, but Marshall, there's a timeline, and he has to reiterate and reincarnate every time and kill the
So-
Ganondorf because
No, I'm actually
You're all light.
I'm actually pretty close in agreement with Marshall here. The problem isn't so much like, oh, he's going to destroy the world. It's that there's no motive. Every single time, it's just fill in the antagonist slot here, and there's no motive behind it. It's
Is
not
it
like
Ganon or Ganondorf? Ooh, plot twist.
it's both. Ganondorf is human form, but that's fine. Hey, it's okay. Who am I to know? Just a hardcore Nintendo fan. But
I'm saying
anyway,
that's the major twist, is finding out if it's Piggy Man or real human man.
Big Daddy.
well, there is a difference for the timeline apparently, but whatever. The point I'm trying to say is, like, I would love it if you found out if he had a motive. Like, if he was just a normal guy who actually did not give a shit about the world. He was just kind of like, look, I exist. Hey, look, a family. And then the king does something, like goes through some sort of war with a neighboring country that like ravages his home village of the Gerudo, and he like had a child or something. And he's just sitting there like, you've just killed my wife and child. I'm gonna fuck over your kingdom now. And then he finds out that he's got the Triforce of Power, and then actually just destroys Hyrule, and then he's just like, hey, I've got power. And all this rage. Might as well carry this to the rest of the world. If there was like a motive like that where you kind of personalize the villain a little bit, like if they did that for the next game, I would be fucking floored. I would love it. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But like this last game, for example, the one, hands down, my opinion, the best Zelda game ever. Dumb boss, shitty boss. It was just like, I don't care. You have no motive to beat me, and I have no motive to beat you. You're just a big bad man, and you've been dormant for 100 years. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what Nintendo does with a lot of their villains. They're very homogenized, in the sense that, like Bowser, he stole the princess and she's sitting in the castle over there, and you have to go get her. And sure, like as adults, we can read a lot more into that, but the thing being is, the dude just stole the princess, and good luck, you have to go step on these mushrooms, you know? And that's the villain, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's marketed to like a younger crowd, you know?
Right. I do say this though. While you're technically right, Nintendo likes doing that with like Mario, with Donkey Kong. They've also made such beautiful gaming gems. So on the other side of this spectrum is a good game with a good villain. Fire Emblem consistently has like good villains, good plot, good like consistent storyline.
Yeah.
Xenoblade recently has been doing pretty good, even though this coming game is going to be anime as fuck. The Wii version was phenomenal. The Xenoblade X, pretty goddamn good. You know, it's not like Nintendo isn't capable of doing it.
Oh yeah,
but when it comes to their popular franchises, they simplify it so that they can continue making the games and not have to worry about plot.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I think the plot is necessary to have, but I also think it's not necessary to focus on for games like Mario or Zelda necessarily. It's
I think
not that
Zelda
it
has always been just like boy save princess story, but also sometimes you don't save the princess. She can save herself, you cis white scum. Sometimes. But other than that, it's usually the pretty traditional like dude getting power to fight bad dude. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think they're trying to tell a story, and if they are, then they're doing a bad job. So
yeah.
They're just setting you up to want to play.
Yeah, hopefully the second DLC will be announced soon, and we'll see what the hell that has to do. But we'll find out. Hopefully I won't hate it. But yeah, like that's a good example though, Marshall, the Legend of Zelda, and I guess I'm gonna have to piggyback off of that specifically with Breath of the Wild. But what about you, Mark? Good
like
game with bad villain.
I'm like scrolling through all of these games right now, and I can't. The closest one I've come to so far is I remember being disappointed at the end of Dust and Elysian Tale. But like other than that, I don't know. Like, I'm like thinking, even For Honor had an interesting villain. Fucking, like most of the Call of Duty games even had interesting villains. Like, Castle Crashers had an interesting villain. Like, there were so many good games that I can't honestly think of one at the moment. Like, even XCOM 2 compelled me at the end. Like, I don't know. Terraria had a fucking cool ass final boss, but like I guess you don't really think about it because
of them.
Well, yeah, they were all pretty fun though to fight.
Yeah,
It's fucking
exactly.
crazy town. Dark Souls has really good final bosses. I mean, they're not really present for the game, but it's hard to come up with a game that there's like a long-standing villain with either you have no prior knowledge before you walk into the fight, they're hinted out before the fight, or they're ever present. Most of the games that I've played are the first two. The ever-present one, I can only think of like Borderlands 2 as a major one, but that boss was amazing.
So good.
Like,
Don't spoil it, please. Thanks.
I didn't, I'm just saying it's a good fight. Fucking Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, amazing final boss fight. Maybe one of the best in video game history, in my personal opinion. Fucking, like, I don't know. I can't find a good, like, I can't find a bad one.
Yeah, it's hard too though, because I was actually talking to Blake about this today. It's hard too to think about like what makes a good villain, you know?
Oh no, I know exactly what makes a good villain. It's like someone who is just relatable enough and just understandable enough that you can relate to them on some way, right? You have to see where they're coming from and you can see where their logic is going, but you also can see why they would be evil, right? That like the idea of a villain or a hero just being two sides of the same coin. You're not very far off from one or the other. That's what makes a villain interesting, right?
I don't know if I quite agree with, like, I agree with that for the most part, but I always like a villain that you don't know if he's right or wrong. Like it's not like he's evil, but you understand his logic. No, you just don't know whether he's right or wrong. You're playing a protagonist, and clearly he has the good intentions, but at the same time, you don't know if the bad guy is right or wrong at the same time.
I feel like that's
for example, like how they've set up A2 so far in the story that we're at. We don't know where it's gonna go.
Well, that's not a villain though. Someone who with unclear intentions is more of a apathetic side character who comes back every now and again, whereas I think a villain is defined as the main antagonist of a story, meaning they have to have clearly intended goals against the protagonist. If they have unclear goals or you're not sure if they're right or wrong, they can't be a villain because they're not evil then. They're not antagonizing the hero.
Well, that I don't know if I agree with that again, because like if you go against them consistently in a video game, that doesn't put them in the gray. You're just consistently fighting them.
But that still doesn't make them the villain. You said what makes a good villain, not what makes a good side character. You can reoccurringly fight someone all you want. Doesn't mean they're a villain.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, there's a dude in Cave Story, I think, who's just like some block man. And he's not evil, he's just working for the bad guy. You fight him all the time, and you can see his intentions. You're not sure if he's right or wrong, but he's definitely not the villain. He's just a side character. He's just a recurring boss fight.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that makes a compelling character. You're right about that. Sure. But not a compelling villain.
Yeah. Absolutely. Is there anything else you guys want to add to that question, or is that a wrap?
I'm all good.
That's a pretty good one.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on the 32nd Legacy of MarkJon podcast. I've been John.
I've been Mark.
And I've been Marshall.
And don't forget to follow Legacy of MarkJon on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, here, etc. And hey, Marshall, where can people find you?
Hey, you guys can find me. My Twitch channel is Got Power Gaming. Also on Twitter at Got Power Gaming. I do stream a lot of days of the week. A lot of it's, Battlefield based because that's my game. But Yeah, thanks for having me on here, guys. I enjoyed
You're
the
not
conversation.
welcome.
Oh, okay. Well, no thanks then.
That's what I thought.
Dance with us, Marshall.
Dude, I'm always dancing, but my chair's so squeaky. You hear that?
The squeaks.
You hear
The
that?
squeaks. I
You
hear
wanted
'em.
this.
You just sound like you're having a seizure in your chair.
Well, I mean, maybe.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you hopefully next week. What's next week?
I don't know. Who cares?
Next week.
It's when we start school.
Hopefully
though.
next week. The start of October. Maybe we'll have Steph back with her magical pumpkin.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right.
All right, guys.
Goodbye.
All right.
See y'all later.